My name is Victoria and I'm a second year student here at Ryerson studying media production, and we're going to start off with asking what's your name and what program are you in?
So I'm Franco and I'm in media production, fourth year at Ryerson.
My name is Sherose, I'm in business management.
And you're in?
My name is Anna and I'm in business technology management.
Okay. My name is Ryan and I'm also in media production, second year.
My name is Nishita, and what brought me here today was I had about 5 minutes to kill before work, so I figured I'd come and sit here and read.
So since Toronto's the most multicultural city in the world, we're asking other people, do you identify yourself as a Canadian, or do you have a cultural background or heritage that you celebrate as well?
I'm Indian, so I came here when I was really little, so I feel as if I do hold my heritage very close to me, but I am grown up as a Canadian.
I'm Pakistani, but I was born in Canada.
Yeah, same thing, Pakistani but born in Canada.
I'm actually born in Canada, so I would say I'm fully Canadian, but obviously I really respect and trying to learn about my traditional backgrounds. My parents are from Hong Kong and they speak mainly Cantonese, and they came over here at a relatively a young age, in high school to university they came here. So when they came here, they're not really technically, they are first generation Chinese immigrants, but at the same time they had developed the culture in Canada at a young age, so that kind of influenced me to kind of respect both. You can always go back and learn about your ethnical backgrounds, but also be proud of being Canadian.
Right.
I would say I identify myself as a Canadian, but myself and my family, we're also Italian, and we still have some Italian cultural things that we do, with food and just custom traditions, things like that.
Do you celebrate, do you have any specific cultural traditions that you celebrate, or any customs?
I don't think there's anything specifically, it's with family, but you do see representation, so that's good.
We make some homemade tomato sauce, we do homemade donuts, we do some different things at Christmas.
Every year, my family and I, we celebrate the Wali. We do that. I get to go to celebrations that happen all over, such as holy celebrations and things like that, so I still hold my culture very close to me.
Another big thing with Italian culture is soccer, so if the World Cup is going on or something, and people watching it, sometimes me and my family will kind of join in with other Italian people and other people who are just following soccer.
There are societies, but I'm not part of them. But I think the fact that there are present on campus, that's a good thing, that we're represented in that way.
Well, my grandparents were Catholic, so we're still, I guess, Catholic Christian. We have some sort of those traditions as well.
So like I said, my parents are, I guess the term is whitewashing. They are kind of more whitewashed than more traditional since they came here at a young age. So we do celebrate kind of Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, I guess, but we also kind of celebrate the very holidays that exist here, for example Christmas and those type of holidays are not very traditional in Chinese sense, but they're still we've developed this new idea of coming here and celebrating other people's cultures as well, and not just us.
Do you attend any of the celebrations here, or the food festivals? Because Toronto has a lot of different festivals, big town. Do you attend any of them?
Yeah, I do. There is a halal food festival that happens once every year in Mississauga, so I do go to that one.
Any free food festival, I'm there too, because I love food and I love different foods.
Personally, not really. Obviously, they're in Markham more, which is more in the suburbs, which is significantly a lot more Eastern and South Asian people there. There are kind of events, they call it Night It Up, where kind of Chinese street food, and I guess we do go to some of those, but in terms of cultural events, personally, just for my family, we don't really participate in, no.
I've been to, I think there was an Italian day or something once in Toronto.
Yeah, the Halal Food Festival, I think it brings a good collection of restaurants that are halal that we can access and that we can go to, and it just helps Muslims know what to eat and what's available for us in Canada.
Do you feel the food is authentic, or it gets a little bit Americanized here?
I think it's pretty authentic. I think it depends on who's actually running it. It's pretty authentic that way.
Yeah, but with an American twist or a side of American, poutine or something that's changed up, or a sandwich that has ethnic influences in it, I think that's pretty cool too.
Do you think your culture is well represented here in Toronto, and how is multiculturalism in Toronto in general?
I can't speak for everyone, but I guess personally, I think there's a lot of Italian influence in Toronto. There's a lot of Italian food. A lot of different Italian events and different things go on in Toronto. Is there a Little Italy in Toronto?
There is.
I think there is, yeah. So I haven't been there, but yeah, I'd say it's pretty well represented for the most part.
In terms of like my culture, so like Chinese, obviously like when we come to Canada, the first thing that is symbolized with Chinese culture is like obviously Chinatown.
There's a lot more multiculturalism here, and it's supported a lot more, which is great.
I grew up in Canada, so I'd still say a lot of Canadian culture, if that's the thing. Like hockey, I play a lot of that, and I follow that a lot. Follow the Leafs, so Toronto culture as well.
I think we have really good representation here. There's a good mix of everybody, and yeah, there's a lot of equal opportunities for people here.
Fact of the matter is that we're able to go out and express ourselves and be who we are without masking our identities. And I think that's what I truly enjoy.
In terms of Toronto, we do a pretty good job in diversity. I feel like maybe there are some minority groups that may not be, as popularly represented. But in my opinion, like based on my culture, I think, Toronto does a really good job in kind of embracing the Chinese culture. And yeah, I've never felt any discrimination against myself in the city of Toronto.
I think multiculturalism in Toronto is definitely well represented in the sense that you see people of various backgrounds, different communities that are able to come together and to celebrate one another. That being said, nothing will really compare to the actual, like, where the culture originates from.
Right, of course.
But at the same time, culture is very subjective, and how I choose to represent my culture is different from how another person that identifies as an Indian will choose to represent the culture as well. But I feel like Toronto is a very good place for everyone to be able to be themselves and open up to their own cultures without feeling any sort of judgment.